Hi, I'm Kat, and this is today's tarot. So, for the opening card that we have for today, it is the Queen of Pentacles. And so, this card is reminding us of an energetic of looking at our sense of self development and where we really are aiming to go in life. If you imagine that you're sitting on your own personal throne with a big hefty coin sitting on your lap, it's as if you're examining what your values are and what your goals are, where your values and belief systems are in the world, and what you're ultimately striving for. The Queen of Pentacles is associated with Capricorn energy, which is governed by that energy of the mountain goat. Mountain goat climbs to great heights without any fear and doesn't look down, right? So where are we aiming for in our life? What direction are we going? And what are we ultimately striving for? This is where we are aiming to develop our own self and our sense of self. And this is the opening energy of the day. Now consider that today we do have a full moon. The full moon is in the sign of Libra, so full moons are typically times that, we have this big, gigantic orb in the sky that creates so much light for us to see our surroundings during the nighttime that we can't typically see. So full moons are times of revealing and times of showing things that we need to also let go. Consider that full moons move the ebb and flow of the tides to the highest heights and the deepest depths. And they also draw things away from the surface. So during the time of the full moon, we can see things in our lives that we need to let go of. And because the full moon is in the sign of Libra, it could be matters around communications and exchange, and possibly even relationships and matters in relationships. Now, the challenge that we have for today came in as the Three of Swords. There's three swords piercing a heart in this card with what appears like a stormy rainstorm that's happening all around it. So it gives us an energy of worry. Like there's something perhaps that we're kind of worried about when it comes to our aims and goals in life or where we're going toward. And it's got us caught in a mindset that is looking at things in a very dark way. Now consider that how we look at things can be really limiting to our possibility, and it can also be really limiting as to where we put our time and our efforts in the day. So consider that the things that you're worried about, they may just be passing, right? Similar to a rain cloud that passes over your garden, right? Like these things are passing. They're not permanent. It's just a sense of worry. So it's calling you to put your attention towards how do you create stability and let go of some of that worry. Now, realize that a lot of times storms can move us. Like if you were actually out at sea and you were in a boat or a ship and a big storm came through, it could really move you quite a bit. You could actually create a whole new plan based on that storm. And so storms can bring new beginnings and bring opportunities in our life that we may not have had on our course already plotted. And yet, in that way, these changes and these shifts and these storms can ultimately be an amazing gift and an amazing blessing because they call in new things into our life. Now, the card that came through as the way that we're going to get through the challenge for today is the Four of Wands. Fours are numbers of stability, right? Because fours are like the edge of a square. It's pretty stable energy. And wands are ruled by the element of fire, and it's our willfulness. So it's like stabilized will that brings us a sense of safety and security. So if you feel like there is something that you feel worried about in life, it's calling our attention to stabilize our will, to go to a place of rest and take care of ourselves, and also make sure that we bring that balance to our lives so that we know when to act when it's time to act, right? Like you have to get sleep so that you can respond to the storm. So it's bringing us a sense of rest and telling us it is important to rest and to rest the mind, especially if you feel like you're in a place of worry, because it can be debilitating. Now, our final outcome for the day, or the overall outcome for today, is the Ten of Pentacles. Now, tens as numbers are crystallizing energy, because a 1 and a 0 reduces to the number 1. So it's a new beginning and a new doorway for life in of itself. Now, because it's a pentacle ruled card, it is speaking about material matters and material security, like some sense and level of attainment towards a belief system that we've been striving for some time. So ultimately, I want to remind you and encourage you to consider that, our culture and our society has led us to believe that if storms show up in our life, it's bad. And it's like some karmic fated thing that's like there to punish us or create some, I don't know, hardship in our life because of something that we did. But in reality, like, life happens, right? Storms happen, weather happens, hurricanes happen, volcanoes happen. All of these things happen, and it's not because your personal spirit is being punished by the universe. Like, that's the most absurd, egotistical freaking thing anyone could actually think or to put off on anybody else. Let's just be realistic. Life is life, and we all go through hardship. We all go through things, and that's part of life. It's a storm, right? Storms pass, and things come from storms that are absolutely beautiful, right? Like, there is some destruction, but there's ultimately always a new beginning. There's always new growth. There's always beautiful things that come out of these storms or hard situations in our life. So rather than beat ourselves up for it, rather than beat each other up for it, rather than shake our finger or our fist at the winds of life and of weather, it's sometimes just most important to know, like, when it's time to retie your sail, set your telescope, or not your telescope, but your scope in the direction that you want to go, right? Angle your compass and, like, angle your wheel in the direction of land so that you can go somewhere that you feel called to go, rather than just sit and wallow in the storm. So with that said, I encourage and invite you to embrace the energies of this full moon and let go of the things that no longer serve you, so that your hands can be open to embracing the new beginnings that are on their way. I send you so much love today and every single day. I will see you again tomorrow.